Welcome to Carillon Explorations, where we uncover the hidden treasures and backstories of the world of carillons, huge musical instruments made up of a series of tuned bells played from a special keyboard with batons and foot pedals.
Let's go behind the scenes in Bruges, or Bruges, where one of the most famous carillon towers in Belgium has inspired visitors for hundreds of years. We'll learn how the Belfry of Bruges entered the popular imagination and watch city carillonneur Wim Berthelot entertain a new generation of visitors to this popular destination with live carillon music. You've seen this Flemish art city in movies and tourist videos. With its unique architecture, the Belfry of Bruges has been firing up the imaginations of visitors for generations. The 19th century American poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow did the most to spread its fame in the English-speaking world. In his poem The Belfry of Bruges, he wrote, "In the marketplace of Bruges stands the belfry old and brown, thrice consumed and thrice rebuilded, still it watches o'er the town." It was a quirk of history that kept the city and its bell towers so well preserved while other cities were undergoing constant upheaval and renewal. But the bells in their towers still had a rough start. Bruges became a backwater for trade after its early development as business opportunities here declined. But the city's initial prosperity as a center of the cloth industry was such that even 3 fires that consumed the tower top and destroyed the bells could not keep it from reviving the tower and installing new bells. Like Ghent, Bruges had a city council that gained privileges giving the city some rights of self-determination, including the right to ring bells for civic purposes. Building a separate belfry for the city was a matter of pride. When the belfry was first built in the 13th century, it was a meeting place for aldermen as well as a treasury. You can still see the locked chest where valuable city documents like charters and deeds were kept. But it was also a watchtower that served as a lookout for possible enemies and other threats like fires. The bells here were rung to announce events, to give warnings, to call the people to war, and also to mark the time. But they were not yet a carillon. The first fire to consume the tower, as Longfellow put it, happened early on in its existence in the year 1280, but construction resumed, and in the 14th century the tower housed at least 3 bells. Lightning struck its spire in 1493, causing a fire that destroyed all the woodwork of the tower, melted down the bells, and damaged the clockwork mechanism. But the spire was quickly rebuilt, and more bells were added over the years to serve as a musical instrument as well as a medium of communication. But another lightning strike in 1741 hit the lion on the spire, and in the fire that followed, everything collapsed and the carillon melted. 40 bells and a clock drum with more than 19,000 holes were lost. The rebuilding that followed included a new order for 47 bells by the founder Joris Dumery, 26 of which remain as part of the 47-bell carillon that is still played today. This time, the tall spire was not rebuilt. After the heyday of the cloth industry was done and the once vibrant port had silted over, the economic power of Bruges receded. But because there was less money for renewal and reconstruction, the historic center was preserved, leading the way for poets, authors, and other creative types to rediscover Bruges in the 19th and early 20th centuries. Besides the poet Longfellow, there were other authors who published romantic accounts of Bruges, emphasizing its mysterious atmosphere and archaic beauty, and spurring an early influx of tourists. When he visited, the 19th century English poet and artist Dante Gabriel Rossetti wrote, "I stood so near upon the height that my flesh felt the carillon." The Belgian writer Georges Rodenbach wrote a novel called The Carillonneur, full of personal and political drama centering on the belfry. This story, as well as his other famous novel about the city, Bruges la Morte, created a vision of Bruges as a romantic place where the notes of the carillon reverberated over canals with white swans, beautiful old buildings, and melancholy streets where silent beguines walked. One of the things those tourists heard and today's visitors still can hear is the operation of the 18th century clock drum, an especially large historic music box type system that allows for quite complex music to be programmed. This is an extension of the historical practice of playing a small melody before the hour strike to get people's attention before telling the time. But to hear the full range of dynamic and musical possibilities from these bells, you can visit during one of the Carillon recitals held 3 times weekly, or listen to a summer evening concert. Let's enter the elegant Carillon cabin to watch a performance by City Carillonneur Wim Berthelot. On the Carillon keyboard, Wim provides another level of entertainment, playing a wide variety of music with all the expression that is possible with a live artist. As a visitor, you can peek at the Carillonneur through the cabin window on your way up to see the bells and the tower view. Or you can watch the live stream of the recitals online from anywhere in the world on the Carillon Association's Facebook page linked below. We'll hear more stories from the Carillon world and see new places in future explorations. Hit the like button and subscribe to join us on our journey inside the dynamic world of carillons and the characters who make them sing out with music. And be sure to share your comments and questions. Till later!